Donald Trump says if he is reelected, he will free defendants who are currently behind bars for their roles in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Trump, in a Truth Social post, said it would be his first act as president, along with closing the border. A spokesperson for the Biden campaign said Trump's comments excuse and encourage political violence. More than 1,000 people have been charged in connection with the attack, including Trump himself. He has pleaded not guilty. Well, let's bring in NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell to dive into this for us. Sue, what do you think about Trump's promise to release the folks involved in the riot on January 6th?
You know, Priscilla, it is absolutely outrageous, but sadly not surprising, considering, as you mentioned, Trump himself has been indicted over allegations related to what he did or did not do on January 6th. Look, not surprising because he kicked off his campaign last year in Waco, Texas, on the anniversary of the standoff between U.S. law enforcement and the Branch Davidians. Waco is an important place to extremists and white supremacists. And at that rally, a prison choir made up of people in prison for their roles in the riot sang a riot song. So, not surprising. Experts, though, are worried. They think the U.S. may be experiencing the highest levels of political violence since the 1970s. So I would just say this. When Trump tells us, if elected, he will release people convicted for doing things like violently assaulting Capitol Police officers, seditious conspiracy, we should just ask, what does Trump want to happen next?
Interesting point there. Let's talk about the Republican National Committee. Trump has now successfully installed his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, as co-chair, and she's promised to use the RNC's money to pay Trump's legal bills and turn it into a MAGA organization. Now, over the weekend, we learned about 50 people had been fired. What do you make of this?
Well, Priscilla, the transformation is complete. The Republican Party is now officially the Trump Party from top to bottom, and the GOP has been replaced with the MAGA MAGA. So it's basically the political version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They look like Republicans, but they are not. So, look, what are national committees supposed to do? They're supposed to get their major candidate elected while supporting all the other candidates in their party. But if all the money and attention is going to Trump and to his legal bills, it's going to make it difficult for Republicans to be competitive in other places like Senate races. Former Congressman Adam Kinzinger, he was a Republican. He posted on X what many moderate Republicans are thinking. Quote, the RNC, in deciding to become Trump's toilet and slush fund, is going to do real damage to down-ballot races.
All right, Sue, in all your years of covering politics, it's very rare to find a bipartisan issue these days, but
Indeed.
Congress has found one. Social media, TikTok.
Right.
So both Democrats and Republicans want it banned or sold to another company because they say right now the Chinese is stealing our data through TikTok. Do you see TikTok being banned?
Oh, Priscilla, it's unlikely. Even if this bill passes, it's unlikely because of something we have called the First Amendment, right? The government cannot tell private parties what they can or cannot publish, which is what happens when you go to an app store. They're publishing something. So if the bill passes and the government makes a move to ban TikTok from the app stores like Apple and Google, the TikTok owner ByteDance and maybe even Apple and maybe even Google could push back, and then the issue would probably end up at the Supreme Court, which would take a long time to make its way through the court system. So I don't think the TikTokers are in danger of being deplatformed today.
So the clock's not really ticking here on this one.
There you
go.
go.
It's going to take a while. All right, Sue, thank you. And, of course, you can join Sue on At Issue every Sunday right here on NBC 10 Boston. It's right after Meet the Press with Kristen Welker.
It is going to be so interesting to see what happens, right?
They vote Wednesday.
Well, and it's wild to think that President Biden says that he is in favor of a TikTok ban. However, he also just launched a TikTok account as well in an election year.
And, yep.